Okay, so here are the 5 questions that I read will be asked, let's just say toward the end of life, okay? Or on a very important day in your life, right? It's a milestone. Let's just call it that. It's a milestone day. These are the questions that you'll be asked. And they're really good. How you lived your life on earth, number 1. How you lived your life on earth. How you utilized your youth. Youth is short-lived. We all know that. The typical definition of youth. How you earned your wealth. How you spent your wealth. How you earned it and how you spent it. And what you did with your knowledge. What you did with your knowledge. This is so important. Some people have a childhood that's kind of so limiting and unnurtured that even when they have knowledge that they earn or learn or gain later in life, they don't do much with it. It has small output. It doesn't go far. It doesn't go anywhere. But what I'm saying is, this is about... Is it even recording? It is recording. So this was about just giving yourself perspective. This is about cleaning up. This is about giving yourself perspective, big picture. At the end of the day, what matters. And I love this. We think we know, we think we remember. We don't. And we don't have to know these every single day. But then, because then they lose their force. They lose their force. But if we have a system in place where we go and look at this every few days, and let's just say every week, that's really good. That has force. And then it makes you think, yeah, I'm good here, I'm good here, I'm good here, I'm satisfied, I'm content. This is where I'm not content. This is where I really am lacking. And I need to do something with it. And one thing leads into the other. One thing leads into the other. We can certainly define these for us. But even if you do not have these defined for yourself, for those you care about, or especially for yourself, these give us perspective. These give us I have to think about that word. These take out the waste, the minors, the temporary waste, the long-term waste. It minimizes it. And that's a really good thing. There are so many things that I did not anticipate, but they happened to me. And I'm not just speaking from one perspective, I'm speaking from many aspects. They happened to me. And so while life has that uncertainty, and it's there for a reason, and it is a good thing, I just really like these reminders, and I really like having seen those 5 other words of caution and precaution. My life has been all about precaution. I'm fascinated by the idea of just living in a way that you minimize irrelevant interactions, whether it's your doctors, lawyers, police, people that don't belong in your life. It's a good life when that happens. And it's a good life when you somehow impact interactions in a way that you leave something good behind. Or at least no harm. Or at least nothing bad. This reminds me of a Twilight story. You know how we said unpredictability in life is not a bad thing. It is a good thing as long as it is something we can manage. When it's in our control. All right, that's when it's best, when unpredictability is there, and also it has lost our control. That's when it's not good. Okay, so that said, this reminds me of a very interesting episode of Twilight Zone that I saw many years ago. I hardly watch TV anymore, and I'm okay with it. But the story was, since it just connected, my brain connected to just now, so I'll say it, that there's this man, right? There's this man who wakes up one day, and he's just, everything is just looks really good. He's dressed well. And everything is just kind of clean and white and put together well, and everything is in order. And he goes out and he meets people, and he seems to have it all. He seems to have beautiful women around, and he is well respected, and he has all these outfits. All right, he wears this white outfit, and he goes to this place, like you go to a casino or a place where you can play games. So he goes to that place, and it's very upscale, and he starts playing. So he plays the first time, and he wins. All right, he's excited. He plays the second time. He wins again. Oh, he's still very excited. Oh, second time win. Wow, perfect. I must be really good. And then third time, he wins again. Fourth, fifth, sixth, he keeps winning. And then he starts to get irritated. It's just irritated. How come I keep winning? How come I have the same output? How come I keep winning? It's the same output. And by that time, he had realized that he was in heaven, because everything was in order. Everything was perfect. Everything was white. There was beauty everywhere. Perfectness. There was perfectness. And things are predictable. And then he asks someone about that. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He says, "What's going on? I thought I was in heaven, and I was supposed to be good. I'm irritated. It's just, I keep winning. It's just same output." And the man goes, "What made you think it was heaven?" Implying it was hell. Meaning only in hell you would expect things to be in 100% order, perfect, beautiful, predictable, same output. That's what hell would be like. And I really liked it. I remembered it. I mean, there are many episodes I watched many years ago, but this is one episode that I remembered. So that said, it's easy for me to say this coming from a body that still lets me function, that still lets me stand and speak and function. It's another, if I want to do something, want to say something, want to do something, pursue something in life, and I don't have a body that cooperates, that kind of unpredictability is not good, right? As long as, if there's unpredictability, but there's still cooperation, that the two of you can work together, you and whatever the third party is, or second party, or your own body, we can work together and get somewhere, get to the desired output, desired goal. You're in heaven. It's a good thing. All right, so going back to these 5 reminders, going back to those 5 precautions, I find these, I feel like life has to begin there. If someone was to teach me these as a kid, or show me these 5 reminders, 5 precautions as a kid. I may not understand how critical they are, right? I may not understand what they can do for a life, but they're still good reminders, because when you grow up, then you remember, oh yes, I remember this. Oh yes, I remember this. And maybe it can impact you a certain way even as a kid. Because let's just say you pursue something and then you realize, yeah, I remember reading that. I must keep that in mind. You know how they say, begin with the end in mind. So I really like this. Today I woke up because I have a situation that I developed not too long ago. And this is something that takes serious management. And the funny thing is, it gets worse and then gets okay. It disappears. It has the ability to disappear. So I want to get very serious about the patterns that I notice, because I want this to just disappear, or I want to minimize this. But certain things, certain incidents, certain events, certain type of foods, certain types of inputs, triggers, bring that situation back. And it's not something we want in the world. Forget in my body, forget in whoever else has it. We just don't want this in the world. We don't want it. And it is out there. Things that I never even heard of. I don't know if it's a very American thing. It's a very British thing, because I looked at the numbers. And there are certain countries that have more incidents of these situations. I'm not going to say the name. Because this is not about that. This is about perspective. This is about the big picture. And that puts us in a drive seat in a different way. All right? That puts us in the drive seat in a different way. And I really like that. It separates out the mundane. It separates out the minor from major. It separates out what's waste, what's relevant, what's irrelevant, while still being able to live. You still want to be able to live. But perspective is great. All right, I'm going to go now.